Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to have a little play at creating something like this. This was inspired by Cori Dahmen from Creating with Scraps. What we've got is we've got a pocket here with a journal card inside. I've also got a pocket on the front here with another little journal card inside. This journal card just kind of sits over the pocket here. I created a little paper clip with some of the scraps that were left over, and I've popped that on the front there. We've got a little notebook here, and then on the back we've got another pocket here. So that's what we are going to have a go at creating. Got a couple of measurements there for myself just as I was creating that, just to help. And I'm just going to get myself ready. Okay, so we've got a bit more light, which is always helpful. I started this with two pieces of card from this pack here. So they're roughly A4 size, I think. I don't have two pieces of card left, so I am going to do a piece of card, and I will do some papers for the rest, I think. So I think I'm going to go with this. This pack has half card, half paper, so it's quite a nice pad to work with, to be honest. That is the one there, just in case you are interested. Okay, I lost film in there a little bit, so yeah, that is the pack there if you are interested. So, got two pieces here, and all I did for the first one was fold this up on itself. Okay, and then I grabbed my scoreboard and I scored it at 1/2 inch. And then 5.5 inches, and then 6 inches. Okay. And then I cut off this excess piece here. So I want to end up with 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here, 5 inches here, and I'm going to cut off this excess piece like that. A bit more actually. Okay, and that's what we start with. Okay, what I then did was grab my scissors and cut down the inside of the score line here, down to this middle section, and then just a slight angle there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm hoping you can see that. I can't see what I'm doing. And exactly the same on this side. Okay, so what that does is it gives us a pocket. May have cut a little bit excess, a little bit too much off the one side there, but we've got these gussets here. So I'm folding these down, and this will be glued over here. So even though you may cut a little bit extra, it's not going to show too much because we've got those gussets in place. And then I have cut a divot out Don't want it to be too deep because it will affect what we're going to be doing with the front piece. Okay, so that is our main pocket here, and because we've given it those gussets, we've got a little bit of playing room here, which is always a good thing because you can literally stuff as much in there as you like. So the next thing we've got here is we've got our paper. I did use card on the original one. Pop that there because I will be using those for some scraps. So yeah, I did use card on the original one. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to double up so that the paper is thicker. Okay, so for this one, I need to score I'm going to go for 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to go for 3 inches, and then I'm going to go for another 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to cut off this end section here again. Like that. Never seem to get it quite right with this cutter. Okay, like that. And I only want this to be 2.5 inches in height. So I'm going to score 2.5 inches. Oh, nope, that's wrong. 3 inches is what I need to score, because the 2.5 inches is the piece I want here. So I did have a gusset piece down the bottom, but I've taken that away now because of the fact that I folded this card. So this one here didn't have a natural gusset, I created one. So I am right, it is 2.5 inches that I want in the height there. And I am going to cut off at that 2.5 inch point again there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is exactly the same as I did on the front piece. I am going to cut, let's think about this first. Yeah. I'm going to cut up across this score line up to the central point and cut a little bit across there. Exactly the same here, up to this score line and across there. And then these are going to be folded over like that. I've just checking I'm still recording because I've lost my main piece of camera, and I am, so we're good to go. I'm just going to trim off some of that top section there, like that. Okay, so that is that piece there. And then what I did, I can use this probably because this needs to be 2 inches across. So half, 2.5. So I need a piece here that's 2 inches across. I'm just going to use what I had. Like that. I'm going to cut off this bottom piece here, and I'm going to fold that in half, like that. So this one here is 2.5 inches. This piece here is just short of 2 inches. Okay, and what that's going to do is that is going to give me my pocket for the front here, and it's going to give me my little kind of little top piece for my notepad. Hope you are still with me. So I'm going to ink around the edges of the lighter card because I think that will kind of bring it all together. Okay. And then I am going to start gluing my pieces together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue along this piece here. So these are the inside gusset flaps. So I'm gluing along those, and I am going to fold my card over like that, and that will give me my pocket with plenty of space. I'm going to do exactly the same with these pieces on the front here. So I'm going to glue the inside gusset part. I'm going to fold that over, and that will give us our pocket here. That I am going to glue onto the front of our main pocket, like that. Okay, then we're going to need our scrap pad. Now I used coffee dyed paper for this one here. You can use whatever you want, but I am going to grab some coffee dyed paper for it. Okay, so this is literally going to be the same size as this one here. So just grab a pencil, mark that off there, and I want it probably only to about there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this bottom piece. Like that. And then I am going to cut this at 2-inch intervals, just below the 2-inch, just under 2-inch intervals. And how many pieces you want depends on how thick you want your piece. Because some journals you don't have room for lots of bulky pieces. So again, it's going to be entirely down to what you want. I am going to use the whole of that half sheet there, and that there I'm just going to quickly stitch together. So I've stitched that there and there. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm literally going to glue it to the inside here. There's lots of different ways you can add these. You can add ones that are removable or refillable or whatever you want to call them. But I'm just going to go with that for now, and we're going to be attaching this to our sheet here. Our card is upside down just because of the way it was when I used it. So I'm thinking of putting a piece of darker card over there, and then perhaps a label on top of that at some point, just to take the focus away from that. And then we would be looking at, probably should have done this before I added the card. Oh, there you go, it's a perfect fit. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Like that. And we're going to attach this to our front pocket just by that top section there. Okay. Let's check we're still going. Yeah. I'm thinking, which is always a dangerous thing, of putting some faux washi on here, just because I think it'll go with the colour scheme. So I'm just going to add a little bit of faux washi on here like that. And I think I might add a piece on the side like that. But again, that's just purely down to personal taste. On this one, I used some stamping, which would have looked just as nice. You could add stamping then if you wanted to. So that's the main bulk. What I then did was create a pocket for the back using some of our leftovers. I am going to fold this in half like so. I'm going to glue it together just because it's paper and I want that extra bit of thickness so that the pocket actually is usable and not likely to tear. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on there like that. We can cut any bits we need to tidy up. And again, I'm just going to ink around the edges. But we've now got double the thickness of the paper. So like I said, I'm not so worried then about putting things inside the pocket. Whereas with the other one, it literally was just a case of using 2 pieces of the card. But I'm out. I'm going to have to order another one of these pads, I think. They do in different colours, so that is going to go on there like that. So we've got a pocket here. Turn it over, we've got a pocket here. We've got our main pocket in here, and we've got our notepad here. And then all I did with the rest was I created a journal card. So again, I could do that with this coffee dyed, I think this is coffee dyed, I want to say this is coffee dyed card, but a 160 GSM card, but I'm not sure if it is the card or if it's the paper. So what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to glue down the paper to give me extra thickness. Like so. If you've got card, that is definitely the way to go. I'm going to add some of this just as a little bit of added interest. So I'm going to cut that off there, like that. I'm going to ink around the edges. I'm going to glue this to our coffee dyed reinforced paper. I'm going to take off a tiny bit of this bottom piece because it's a bit too long. And then I'm going to ink around this. And it's not quite as sturdy as cards, but it's not bad. And it's definitely thick enough to use as a journal card. What I think I'll do with this one, just because it's a bit plainer, is I will just do a little bit of stenciling on this back side here. Oops-a-daisy. Like that. And then what I think I'm going to do with this is I was going to put some ribbon-y type stuff in here. So I'm going to punch myself a little hole there. And I'm going to use some scrap of sari silk that I've got and hope it's long enough. Like that. Okay. And then that will pop in there like that. And then the only other thing I did was I created a little journal card to go in this pocket. And again, I'm going to use the same principle for this because it's part paper and not all card. I can afford to use some lighter materials. So I'm going to fold that in half there. And again, this is just using all the bits that I've got left over. Just going to check that that will fit in there, which it will. So again, I am going to just ink around it. So you've got a little bit of a added journal spot there. And then the final thing I did was I did a paper, what do you call it? A paper clip, hidden paper clip. And I did that using this card that I had left. So I'm going to fold that in half here. I'm going to grab my paper clip. And that is going to go over there like that. I left the back side, I wasn't unhappy with that, so I was quite happy to let that go. And I think what I might do with this one is, instead of putting a piece of card on the top, I might use some of this leftover paper. And glue that. Oops-a-daisy. Just checking I'm still recording. Don't know what is going on today with my screen mirroring. Just does not seem to want to play. So we've got our piece here, which fits over really, really well. You can see the paper clip through that, obviously, because it's a very thin piece of paper. And I'm okay with that because it actually looks quite rustic. And if you were to go over with your ink, it's going to highlight it even more. And it looks quite rustic and quite cool, I think. And then that will literally go over here like that. And that is it. It's, as I said, it was a project inspired by Cori. I saw Cori using some cards with a notebook on the side, and I thought, oh, I like that. Let's see what we can do with that. And that is what we've done. So 2 completely different looks depending on what you're working with, but we've got a pocket in the back here. So we've got our pocket here, we've got our central pocket here with our journal card. We've got another pocket here with another little journal spot. On the pocket we've got an altered paper clip, and we've got a little notebook that you can use as well. I used buttons on this one, just because I liked the look of the buttons, but you can literally decorate them however you like. But that is how quick and simple that project is. So thank you as always to Cori for the inspiration. I hope you guys liked, and I hope you guys will have a go at creating some, and if you do, let me know how you get on. But as it is, I will leave it there for now. As always, stay safe, be well, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.